Okay guys, bear with me. I'm going to do my best to show you how I did this. So you put your two pattern pieces together, right sides together, and then on one side you're going to measure, however far out you want it to go for your nose piece opening, and then have it a 3/8 inch opening, and then you're going to mark it right there so you know where to sew. And then on the bottom you'll leave your opening for turning, and I just put my hand down and then marked around it. Okay, so after you mark it, then you're going to take it to your sewing machine, and on those marks you'll start your stitch here, make sure you back stitch, and then go all the way around till you get to your other mark, back stitch, and then continue here, back stitch, and then go all the way around till you get to your other mark and back stitch. Then what I do before I turn it is I take my pinking shears and I pink all the sides except for where the wire is going to go, because I feel like this little bit of extra fabric helps cushion between the wire and your nose. And then you can flip it inside out and then make sure you poke out all your corners. Then after you've turned it inside out, you're going to iron it. And then what I do is I find my little hole here and I mark where not to sew when I do my top stitch. You don't have to do a top stitch, I just do it to make it easier to find where the hole is. Then after that, you can take your folds, and I fold it right here, right on the corner. So then you can just fold it down and it's going to look like that, and then iron it, and then you do the other side, same thing, and then you'll iron it and it'll look like that. Okay, so here it is top stitched. I stitched the folds, those are at 1/8, and then I only top stitch the bottom and the top just straight across. If you really wanted to, you could probably do it all the way around, but I do that just to save time. So then this was what it looks like in the back. See, so you do your main stitch here with your opening, and then you do another one, and that makes your casing for your nose wire. And depending on the size of your nose wire is how big you're going to make it. If you use like a single wire, then you can do it like about at 1/4 of an inch, because this would be too big. But I like the aluminum nose bridge, which is about 1/4 of an inch. So then I sewed it a little shy of 3/8 of an inch, and then that's your casing for your nose bridge. So then what I do also to save time is I don't bother pinning. I just put it right onto my sewing machine, and I will fold it, this is hard to do with one hand, parallel and perpendicular to the side. If I can get it a little bit better. There we go. So it'll look like that, and then you just put it under your presser foot, and then you'll sew down to where you get to basically the edge of the fabric, and then you'll take the bottom and continue sewing. So once you're done sewing, it's going to look like this. And then at this point you have two choices. You can either fold it over once to meet right at the edge and sew it down and make a casing, or you can get your elastic, this is just an example here, and your elastic, and you can tuck it in here up against the top stitch and then sew it in, and then you can have your elastic that way. So here's an example of elastic sewn in, even though it's technically not sewn in, but that's how you would do it. Or you make your casing and then you just put it in and then you tie your knot.